We're very pleased this week to have Alacrity Canada join us for, to talk about a new big program they're launching called Amplify AI BC. So really excited about that. Hopefully we'll learn the tricks and inside tips on how to get in for the startups out here who are working in AI and keen to grow faster. The program will provide help with commercialization, marketing, and sales for AI supply chain companies. It's a continuous intake, and they're accepting applications now. I'm sure one of the questions that will be on the mind of our audience is what constitutes a supply chain company exactly. So we'll perhaps ask our guests to get into that a bit. But here to tell us about the program, we have Chris Massot, who is the program manager at Alacrity Canada for 5 years with a background in sales, marketing, and project management. He's been involved with a number of technology and e-commerce companies throughout the years, and has a passion for supporting BC-based startups and the tech ecosystem. So without further ado, I'll turn it over and say, welcome, Chris.
Yeah, thank you so much, Steve, for the intro. And thank you so much for AInBC for helping us put this on. It's great to see a bunch of people, and we're really excited to introduce this program to everyone. So yeah, thank you so much. I'm just gonna get into some screen sharing and we'll get right into it. All right, can everyone see my screen? Gonna take that as a yes. Yeah, so as Steve mentioned, my name is Chris and I'm the program manager at Alacrity. I oversee the Amplify AI program. We're going to try and keep the webinar and presentation short and sweet and kind of be closer to the 20 to 30 minute mark and not take up the entire hour. So just a bit of background on Alacrity and then an introduction to the SuperCluster who is funding the program. So Alacrity is a nonprofit organization that facilitates economic growth within the BC tech sector. We provide entrepreneurs and startups access to a variety of services, resources, mentorship, and different funding opportunities to develop and grow the companies. We've successfully completed 2 programs and currently have 7 on the go. We've been able to attract almost $400 million of investment into the BC tech sector. This can be across Canada investors as well as global investors. And we've been able to support over 100 programs that are in our companies. About Scale.ai, they are the AI supercluster in Canada, and they act as an investment and innovation hub to accelerate the rapid adoption and integration of Canadian AI technologies. So we're going to dive into what the Amplify AI program is all about. Steve kind of touched on this a little bit. We've kind of targeted this program as a commercialization, marketing, and sales acceleration program for AI supply chain companies. Our primary focus with this program is to market and sell the technologies that you've been able to build to increase revenue opportunities for companies. So we are accepting 10 companies per year over the next 3 years on a continuous intake model. So we aren't doing the cohort-based where we accept 20 applications let's say June 1st, and then we approve them and review them. We just do a continuous intake model. So basically, whenever we feel confident to apply, we'll review our application and submit it for formal approvals. There are no associated costs or program fees for the companies that are participating in the program, which we believe is a great bonus and value add. And the program runs for about 6 months for each company. So with that, the program benefits that the companies should expect to receive are digital marketing services, access to an online digital marketing bootcamp that Alacrity has actually been able to create in-house. We've been running this course for about 2 years now. We review and go over go-to-market and commercialization strategies, as well as sales acceleration strategies, investor readiness setups, and then of course, access to mentor and advisors, as well as coaches throughout the program. So we're just going to break down a couple of these topics into a bit more detail, just so that you have a better grasp of what to expect when joining the program. So we've partnered with a few marketing agencies in town to deliver a tailored marketing package and services for the companies. So what this looks like is a review of a digital marketing audit. So they'll do one-on-one calls and sessions with you. They review your entire digital footprint or online presence, looking at social channels, content, your website, design, SEO, the whole gambit. And then they also do a competitive analysis with your competitors, what they're up to, and creating a SWOT analysis with you. And then building on top of the digital marketing audit, we can go into like a strategic action plan. So again, one-on-one phone calls, really understanding the goals and milestones you're hoping to achieve, the strategies and tactics that you're currently running, and what could be possible, trying to optimize those campaigns and marketing strategies. And then at the end of it, you'll have an actual action plan to move forward and basically implement and execute those strategies along the way. There are also, if you do have your own marketing team, we'll provide coaching and consulting services. So really understanding your current strategies and tactics, kind of brainstorming with you, advising different strategies, different campaigns, what to focus on, testing different ad campaigns and that sort of thing, so that you can actually execute on a higher level. There are also opportunities of doing paid advertising through this program. So the agencies will help build different campaigns on relevant platforms, whether it's on LinkedIn, Google Ads, Instagram, whatever it might be. And then we'll launch multiple campaigns, run and test which ones are active, which ones are getting the better conversions, and kind of focus on those campaigns to really help grow the revenue and the leads that are coming in. And then there is the access to the digital marketing bootcamp. So this is an Alacrity bootcamp that's been used by over 3,000 people so far. So this is where a team member is able to gain the fundamental and practical experiences of everything to do with digital marketing. They go over paid advertisements to SEO, to landing pages, to Google Ads, you name it, and they've built a course all around it. And then that team member is then able to bring that practical experience and then implement those strategies, those new campaigns that they've developed throughout the boot camp, and then help scale the business. With regards to the sales and acceleration and investor readiness side of things, we'll connect each company with a mentor, advisor, coach to kind of help you through the sales process and different investment strategies that you're currently facing, if it's different challenges or obstacles. So it's a little similar to the marketing services, where it's the one-on-one discovery phase on a phone call, reviewing your goals, strategies, and different challenges, really understanding who your customer is, the product market fit, what's your sales pipeline like, your processes, and then we kind of refine any challenges, obstacles, and the entire process to make it more efficient, and so that your sales team can really close the important accounts that you currently have. And then for the investor readiness side, one-on-one mentorship, coaching abilities, and we really dive into the pitch deck when you're looking at attracting investments, refining that pitch, the kind of the do's and don'ts and how to approach the investors, we also look at the ability or like the forward thinking of where your company's at and what kind of investment you really need. If it's a strategic investor, if you're looking for angels, institutional investors, dilutive, non-dilutive, we kind of look at a holistic approach of the investment realm and really try and help you narrow down the right tactic to kind of move forward with attracting the right round or the right investments. I know Steve, he touched on what is the supply chain of this program. It's kind of across the entire program, and it's a key component of it. So the SuperCluster Scale AI has like a specific mandate around which AI companies can apply to the program and which ones are valid. So this is being AI companies need to have a supply chain component tied to their business. And these are some of the definitions and examples that they've been able to provide to us to really share to the potential companies or entrepreneurs that are wishing to join the program, just because we want to make sure that there is that right fit within the AI component, but also with the supply chain component as well. So Scale.ai is kind of categorized these two categories with the supply chain side of things. One of them is the direct relation to supply chain. So their definition to this is a product or solution that directly impacts the supply chain management and logistical operation. They've coined this as the first order effect. It almost sounds like a Star Wars joke, but this is basically an immediate impact on the supply chain and logistic operations of companies. So what this really looks like as an example is a company and platform that's created a on-demand freight marketplace. So this platform matches freight from brokers with carriers and integrates and improves on existing efficiencies with their AI algorithm. So the relation to the supply chain for this business or this example is that there's insufficient information between brokers and carriers, which create inefficiencies along the supply chain. This can be underutilization of assets, delivery delays, and loss of revenue. And so fleet owners have access to a smart real-time freight matching platform to really optimize their deliveries, whether they're operating at a low load, so half their trailer is empty, so that they can pick up other packages or other loads along the way to really increase revenues and increase delivery times. So the supply chain area of this example would be transportation planning, automated logistics, scheduling, transportation management, fleet management. And then the AI area would be machine learning, planning, scheduling, and optimization. So this is an example of a direct solution within the supply chain components. And then the second category is the indirect supply chain. So this can be a product or solution that is like an element of supply chain management and logistic operations. So it's not the core theme of it, but it has an element or it's being able to attach itself to the supply chain component. And they've coined this as the second order effect. So basically what this means is the technology that's being leveraged or the solution is able to be applied across multiple industries, or it impacts multiple different processes within that same industry. So an example for an indirect supply chain solution is a manufacturing software that calculates optimal sequences for machinists. A machinist is basically an operator of a machinery within a manufacturing plant. And so currently there's a resource constraint on machinists, while also with the different machineries within manufacturing facilities. So this software and platform is able to then make better informed decisions for the machinists, increase uptimes, and have fewer machines idling. So the relation to the supply chain is that allows the operators or the machinists to optimize their machinery, address the resource constraints, and then this application can be leveraged across different industries. It's not just on one industry. So we can look at aerospace manufacturing, automotive manufacturing, metal production. This solution can be applied across a variety of industries, which is the indirect kind of definition of supply chain. And then the areas that it's operating in is operation management, scheduling, manufacturing, the AI areas, machine learning, planning, scheduling, optimizing, and then also predictive analysis. And then they've Scale.ai has kind of created what's called a supply chain's value chain. It's basically the core themes or the core categories for supply chain. And so we have the planning, which goes into forecasting, capacity, resource planning, inventory, distribution, transportation. And then from planning, we go into sourcing. So from here, it's again, cross-provider scheduling and operation integrations, automating the sourcing and procurement of goods and services. So once we move past sourcing, we can go into logistics and production. So this is basically automating logistics, making sure that the scheduling is accurate, the transportation of the goods and the transportation of the goods and fleet management. And then the fourth down this value chain is sales and after sales. So quality control, channel arbitration, pricing and promotions, and reverse logistics. So these are the core themes that Scale.ai has kind of are targeting for this program. And they're kind of hoping that the companies that are applying kind of fall within these categories with their current solution and AI platform or software and the technologies that are able to kind of push that forward. And then, yeah, so that's kind of the definitions of the supply chain. So we have direct and indirect, immediate impact for the direct, and then for indirect, it's a element within the supply chain, and it's the ability of using that kind of solution across multiple industries or within multiple processes. So that's basically the supply chain component of this, and we're going to just jump into how to kind of apply for the program. So as you're well aware, this is open and eligible for all AI supply chain based companies in BC. So the application phase or process for this program is we have an online application form for you to complete. Once we receive that, then we do an internal review at Alacrity, and we schedule a call with you to make sure that there's a good fit. We kind of ask about the software and the solution and the involvement with supply chain. And then from there, when we believe there's a really good fit, we ask you to complete a more detailed online application form that is then submitted to Scale.ai. Scale.ai, they have their own committee that reviews both components of AI as well as the supply chain component. And so they basically have the final say and the final approvals of which companies are able to join our program. And And then once your company is approved, we go into what's called a discovery phase. So we schedule a one-on-one call and we work with you to determine what resources and what services you truly need. And we determine at what stage your business is at, what growth, how many team members, and then we kind of work together to determine if it's the digital marketing component that you're really after, and that's like the biggest challenge or obstacle for you is optimizing that machine, or if it's the sales acceleration and really refining your sales pipeline and your process and refining your pitch, or if you're looking at attracting investment, we would then allocate our services and resources to the investment side of things and really help you make introductions to potential investors, refine your pitch deck. And so basically we'll work with you to determine what are the key challenges that you're facing. And then we'll put our resources and services towards that in order to make sure that you have the optimal value from this program. And then we go into the delivery phase of the program. And that just means that the program runs for about 6 months. And this is where we provide all of the services and resources for you throughout those 6 months. Yeah, so that's the Amplify AI program. I really appreciate and thank you everyone for listening to my presentation. I really hope that it was valuable to everyone, and we really look forward to seeing your applications. And we can definitely go straight into Q&A. So I'll just go to this slide to kind of initiate that, but I'll leave it at this slide so you can write down the website URL and my colleague Sophia's email address if you have any further questions, or if you want to see where the application form is, or yeah, if you have any other questions throughout or after this presentation. So yeah, thank you again. I really appreciate everyone being here and listening to me chat. And I think we'll jump into some questions. I'm just gonna pop over to the chat and see what's going on. Yeah, it seems like there aren't many questions, but some of them that we can definitely go over is what docs or what documents do you need to apply with? So Alacrity asks for you to complete the online application form, and we'll go through that internal process, schedule a call with you, and then look into the detailed application form. We do help you through this process too, especially with filling out the detailed application form, because Scale.ai does have a lengthy form that needs to be completed. So we'll help you and guide you through that process. Yeah, another question is the program available for pre-revenue? Yes, the program is available for pre-revenue stages. The stages that we definitely focus on are pre-revenue all the way up to kind of scale. We feel like the services and the program and the way it's kind of positioned is it's not quite ready for the companies that are mature, because they already have a well-oiled machine. They have a dedicated marketing team, dedicated sales team, and they're a lot more robust. Where pre-revenue, we can definitely provide the resources and services to help scale that. Another question, what industries do you focus on? So we would focus on all industries. The two primary criteria that we're really focusing on is the AI technology, as well as the impacts on the supply chain of an industry. So those are the two main criteria that we'll focus on, but industry-wise, we're open to all of them. Are companies outside of Canada eligible for the program? Unfortunately, no. The program is targeted for BC-based companies. If you had an office in BC, we'll definitely take a look at your business and your application. But if you're headquartered and you don't have any offices in Canada, unfortunately, we won't be able to provide those services to you. Looks like those were all of the questions so far. But yeah, once again, if you have any questions after the presentation or later on today or this week, please reach out to Sophia just on the screen. So there's one more other question. There was mention of an earlier. I think this is around research component of a company, or they're doing a bunch of research with UBC, SFU, and potentially other universities. Yes, as long as we can kind of classify and make a compelling statement around the AI or the supply chain and what that company or what that research might do towards the end, we could definitely take a look at it. It might be a little out of the realm for the Scale.ai's program criteria and mandates. But yes, please feel free to reach out to us and we can work with you to talk to Scale.ai to see if there's an ability to apply as a research-based company or research-based department. So once again, if you have questions later on in this week or later today, feel free to reach out to us or just apply directly on our alacritycanada.com/amplify AI program page, and we'll happily review your application and schedule a call with you. So thank you again for joining. I really appreciate the time, and yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the day.